You know that feeling when you're just frozen, totally unable to make a decision because you're just so terrified of getting it wrong? Yeah, it's a feeling that can stop any of us dead in our tracks, whether it's a huge life choice or something really small. But what if I told you there's a clear way out of that cycle of indecision? Well, that's what we're going to dive into right now. How to master the art of being decisive.
So to really tackle this, we've got to understand what we're truly up against. And look, this isn't just about being a little careful or thoughtful. No, it's a very specific kind of mental trap, something called the paralysis of choice.
I mean, does this sound familiar at all? You're staring at some kind of crossroads. Could be big, could be small, and this wave of fear just washes over you. The fear that you'll pick the wrong path and you'll regret it forever. It's overwhelming, right? If you're nodding your head right now, trust me, you are so not alone in this.
Okay, let's actually put a name to this feeling. It's called analysis paralysis, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's that state where the act of thinking becomes the actual obstacle. We get so wrapped up in weighing every single pro, con, and what-if scenario that we end up doing nothing. We literally paralyze our own progress.
And just think about how this sneaks into your everyday life. I mean, it's spending a solid hour picking an outfit because you're worried there's a slightly better combination in your closet. It's that endless back and forth over a restaurant menu. But really, at its core, it's all about that nagging fear of what if? What if I miss out on the better option? It just goes to show you how deep this thing can really run.
So the big question is, why do we get stuck in this loop? Well, it turns out it often comes down to something called the perfectionist's trap.
And here's the thing, the real cause, it isn't actually about the options in front of you. Not at all. The real issue is a deep down lack of trust in our own judgment, a lack of trust in our ability to just handle whatever comes next. And when you don't trust yourself, you start looking for absolute certainty in a world where, let's be honest, it just doesn't exist.
You see, this lack of self-trust, it kind of pushes us into becoming what you might call natural perfectionists. We start desperately searching for a guarantee, right? A sure thing, some kind of sign from the universe that our choice is going to be 100% successful before we're even willing to take one tiny step.
And this is such a powerful way to think about it. We tell ourselves we're aiming for excellence, that we're just trying to do our best. But in reality, chasing perfection isn't really a goal. It's a defense mechanism. It's like a shield we hold up to protect ourselves from the mere possibility of failure or regret.
But here's the ultimate irony in all of this. All that overthinking, all that extra analysis we do because we think it's helping us make a better choice, it actually does the exact opposite. It just bogs your brain down in all this negative noise. It leads to decision fatigue. It messes with your gut instinct, and get this, it usually leads to worse judgment calls in the end.
Okay, so if that old way of thinking is basically a trap, then how in the world do we get out of it? Well, it's going to take a real deliberate shift in our mindset. So let's talk about a totally new way to think about these moments.
All right, so let's break this down. The old mindset is constantly looking for that impossible guarantee, right? It's totally terrified of making the wrong choice. But the new mindset, it's all about accepting imperfect forward action. It's not about avoiding mistakes, it's about valuing movement, valuing learning, valuing the experience that you only get from actually doing something. So here's the takeaway you really need to internalize. Remember this, perfection isn't the key to success. It's the key to obsession. It's what keeps you stuck in that endless loop, endlessly polishing a decision that just needs to be made already.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do we actually do this when we're in the thick of it? Well, let's break down a simple but really powerful tool. It's called the Decisive Action formula.
It's a really simple 3-step process that just cuts right through all that mental noise. So, step 1, you ask yourself, what is the absolute worst thing that could realistically happen here? Step 2, and listen, this is the most important part, you mentally accept that worst-case scenario. You just make peace with it. And then step 3, from that calm place of acceptance, you just calmly start working to improve upon that outcome. See what that does? It transforms this terrifying, paralyzing decision into just a practical problem to be solved.
So really, when you get right down to it, overcoming analysis paralysis isn't about learning how to make the perfect choice every time. It's about changing what you value. It's about choosing to simply move forward. And this is the crucial point. The goal is not to find some mythical right choice that doesn't exist.
The real prize is action. It's forward momentum. An imperfect step forward is always more valuable than standing perfectly still, waiting for a guarantee that is never, ever going to show up.
So I'm going to leave you with this one final question to chew on. What if we've been looking at this whole thing completely backward? What if the right choice isn't something you go out and find? What if it's something you create just by making a decision and deciding to move forward with it today?